Yes. Welcome to Come Well to another episode, another portal, another doorway entitled Am I as I am, as you are. Today's video is titled Where Exactly is Heaven and Hell? Where exactly is exactly? Where is it? Where is heaven and where is hell? Are these locations? Are these perceptions? Is it an actual physicalized thing? Is it energy form? What is it? Where is it? Um, Today's video is going to touch upon these points. Where exactly is heaven and hell? And we're going to go through the rundown. Uh, like I always say, those who are familiar with this channel know that I go line for line, which is what I call doorway after doorway, and together we walk down this hallway of the mind and the heart. Let's go right into it. I want to put this out before I start the video to understand, to follow what I'm saying and how I'm saying it and where I'm going and what I'm pertaining to when I start describing where heaven is and where hell is at. Okay? First, understand this. This is the intro to today's video. You first have to understand that the organism that fell from the mother's womb is not you and never was you to begin with. Your true nature is air or spirit, what they call the breath or espiratu. Espiratu is another way or Latin way of saying breath, which means spirit. So one more time, you have to first understand before this video begins, you have to first understand that the organism that fell from your mother's womb is not you and never was you to begin with. Never can be you. Your true nature is nothing but air or spirit or espiratu or breath. So this is an example. The first time that organism, whatever your name, because they give a name to an organism, your name is not your name. It's the organism's name, the body that you are in. It's not your name. You don't have a name, which is why you make many tag names for yourself. Oh, I'm this now. Oh, I'm that now. I'm that now. Before this organism was named Skino. Then it was named Cartel. Then it was named 731. See? And it was named Blue, which is who you see now, Blue Amias. The first time that organism took its first breath outside of the womb after birth, immediately after being birthed out of the womb. The first time that organism took its first breath outside of the womb, it breathed you inside of its organs and trapped you inside of a name and an identity. Follow me. You're nothing but air, which is what is espiratu, the spirit, the breath. Okay? The first time that organism took its first breath outside of the womb of mother, your mother, whoever she is, this organism breathed the first breath it breathed you inside of its organs and then trapped you inside of a name and an identity, which is who the hell you think you are now, but you never was and never can be, never was to begin with. It breathed you deeper and deeper to the very bottom of its lower body until you made contact with the root chakra and got stuck there, which is somewhere around an area in biology called the gastrointestinal tract, which is where they say the soul is at. This is what you are. Your true nature is solar, like stardust. You are a solar being. Is that picture? Wait a second. to show you what you are. This is what you truly are. When that organism took that first breath, this stardust that you see got sucked in and then got stuck here. And now you think it's somebody named Fred or Angela or Michael or Cindy. But this is stuck. This is what you truly are, which is stardust. This is why you are. You have a soul because you are solar. And you have a solar plexus. The plexus or the nexus of the soul. You are stuck here. The organism took the breath, which was the baby or the infant or the baby or the infant, took that first breath, you got stuck here in the lungs. It took the second deep breath, you got stuck around here in the intestines. It took a third deep breath, you got stuck here, which is the root chakra. And now you think you're somebody named Tom, Dick, and Harry, Jane, Beth, and Jill. Okay? You have to understand this before I go into the video. It breathed you deeper and deeper to the very bottom of its lowest body until you made contact with the root chakra and got stuck there. Now, your whole life, you're trying to find your way back up out of the organism to free yourself from the prison, and i.e. person and prison is the same thing, from the prison and bondage of the human body. The many names you were given and begin to create on your own are the many prisoners which keep you locked up in the prison or the person or the prism, institution of identity and personality. It's like I was saying before, when that organism that came out of who you call your mother, that womb, when it came out, took the first breath, you got sucked in. It took the second breath, you got sucked in lower. It took that third breath, you got sucked in deep to the root chakra. Or you got sucked into the lowest hells. See where I'm going? Understand where I'm going with this. Now it gets a little more colorful as we go along. It gets a little more clarity to it. Okay, so you have to understand this. First and foremost, you got sucked into layers and levels inside of the body. And you've lost yourself within the organs and the anatomy of the human body. Okay? I don't want to give everything away just yet, but let's just go into the next doorway. The next line of doorway is the breath. What is the breath? The breath, once again, is the spirit. Or another way of breath, or another word for breath, you can look it up yourself, Google it, look at your dictionary, whatever, is espiratu or spiratu, which is nothing but spirit in Latin. This is what breath means. Breath means spirit. Aren't you a spiritual person? So wouldn't you be the breath? You are not the body. You are the breath. Or you are that which was sucked in, which was titled as breath or breathing. Okay? Breath. The one who beareth the broth. Remember, breath is also beareth, which is to bear. Broth is also breath. Breath is also broth. The broth is the soup, the chemical soup inside the body, which is what you call blood, plasma, okay, liquid. The one who beareth the broth through the contract and oath of the breath. The one who chooses to bear oath. So when that organism took that breath, you bared oath to sustain to remain inside of that organism and to carry out that organismic experience is what we call human life, quote unquote. It's nothing but an organismic experience. Okay? what you call human life. You chose to be vacuumed into an organism. Um, this is what they call spiritual conscious or spiritual consciousness. You chose this mission. My being, my soul chose this mission to be somebody named Blue for whatever reason, to carry out whatever task and whatever mission. Okay. Um, the prison guard is the prism of God. So the prison guard is the prism of God. What is the prism of God? The prism is this pristine prism that we call skin or the body. This is the prismatic intelligence. This is the prism. So this prism, which is nothing but angles and geometrical configurations amongst itself, made up of light, is a prism with an M. And this prism with an M is your soul's prison. Okay, this is what it's imprisoned within. It's imprisoned within this damn body. Okay? So the prison guard, quote unquote, is the prism of God, which is the human body. You're not doing time. You're experiencing the intelligence of time in a crystallized tomb of organismic intelligence, which is the human body. Yeah, so and people say, "Hey, what's up? That's my brethren, or that's my brethren, my brother." They're saying that's my breather. Brethren just means to breathe in. That's my breathing. That's my brethren. That's my breathing. Or that's my brother, which is that's my breather. See, so our very language is based upon the understanding of breath in a certain way. Um, okay, let me go to the next thing. The next line in our doorway is like inhaling and exhaling. When we inhale, it means to go inside of hell, which is the body, or to go to its lowest nature, which is why people say breathe deep when they do yoga and stuff. Breathe very deep, breathe very deep. It's a constant keeping you down. So to inhale means to be inside of hell. To exhale means to exit hell. So I'm pretty sure you kind of see where I'm going with this upon where hell is at, most particularly. Hell is the human body. This body is hell. Not just this life, even though things outside are actually inner, but I'm saying this human body itself is hell, or what is defined as hell. Okay, so get the pictures and the images and the movies and commercials and cartoons and TV shows or pages of artwork and depictions of this devil with this pitchfork and fire and the swimming lake of fire, and that's neither here nor there. The body, and that even has a deeper definition to a deeper understanding to as well. We're talking about fire or the pits of fire. You're talking about the gastrointestinal tract. This is where the soul is trapped. Because how do you feed fire? You feed fire with gas, right? You fuel the fire with gas. So we're looking at things according to not a judgmental or a fairy tale kind of point of view. We're looking at things and we're looking at these descriptions of these places, and we're tying it back to the body and to the chemistry and to the elements and to the forces and to the principle, to the nature of things to make sense of where this place is at and where this is and what goes on there. We're making the tie-ins into something which actually makes sense. Okay. Which is why exhaling is when you exhale or when you exit hell. This is why the last breath that occurs is an exhale, because now you exit hell. That last breath means that the soul has made its way all the way up to be exited from the esophagus through the windpipe, the esophagus outward to make its exiting of hell, which is the body. So inhale, you are inside of hell. When you inhale, you are keeping yourself in hell. When you exhale, you are exiting hell, which is exiting the hole, because hell is nothing but the word hole. Your hole is your mouth where you breathe through, your ears where you hear through, your nose where you smell through, your eyes where you see through. Okay? So, and this is known, inhaling and exhaling is known as a thing called gas exchange. Okay? Um, what I tell people sometimes, and they say, well, what you mean? The body is the ego, and the ego is this and that, Well, how can you make it real to me? How can you tell me what the ego is? How do I know what it feels like? And I say, okay, cool. Well, listen, hold your breath for as long as you can. I'm gonna show you the strength of the ego. How you are so fooled and bamboozled that it's almost impossible to exit hell consciously or by choice. Which is where you have some yogis and you have Yogananda, you have certain kind of people who went to these states, these sages, these gurus that went to these states to leave their body consciously. How did they leave the body consciously? How did they leave it by choice and by decision? They starved hell. They starved their body, and all that hell comes with: sexual nature, juice, water, food, survival of the human body. They decided not to involve themselves in it, and little by little, the body shrunk. And when they went back to these sages and gurus and yogis in these mountains, uh, in these caverns or these caves, there was nothing left but uh, hair, bone, and nails after a while of leaving their body consciously. Okay? So, if you want to know how to defeat the ego, if you really want to try, or you really want to know if it's a real thing, I tell people, okay, hold your breath. Hold your breath for as long as you can. And then hold it. Okay, hold it. So, okay, keep holding it. So, yeah, still holding it. So, okay, keep holding it. I can't hold it anymore. I'm about to let go. I can't. I gotta breathe. No, just hold it more. Hold it longer. And they go, I just can't. And they breathe in. And I said, that's what the ego feels like. That's why it's almost impossible to understand, or it's almost impossible for the average mind to escape an ego, which is the human body, which is the hell. This is how much of a grasp and a hug and a clamp that hell has on you, and that the ego and the body and the name and the identity and the personality has on you, has on the soul. That having to exhale and then inhale to fill your lungs back up after holding your breath for a long period of time, that you just have to exhale to take that next inhale to fill these lungs back up again. That's what ego feels like. That is the feeling of ego. That is the strength of ego. That's how strong ego is. This is why it's very important and very relevant to remain aware, to remain as still and as silent as possible for as much as possible, whenever possible. You're coming to grips with the understanding of what the body is. What is this place called hell? That is what hell feels like. So before you think you can escape real easy and there's nothing for you to do, when you hold your breath and you take that in and you exhale and you inhale again real quick, that's a quick reminder of how strong the ego's grasp is on you, and how entrapped that you are and imprisoned that you are within this body, because it's not going to let you go. Okay? It's not going to let you go. That's how strong the ego is. Just for the very fact that you could not hold your breath until you died right there in front of me, that's the strength of the ego. That's the strength of the hell. That's the strength of the body. You are trapped in hell. You are trapped in the body. Primarily, you are trapped within the lungs. Now, this goes a little more deeper. Okay, so that's why I say you always want to know what the feel, how the ego feels like, and how strong the ego actually is. Try stopping your breath and see what happens. You will eventually take another deep breath or deep inhale. That's how strong ego is, because it fights to exist no matter what. It'll fight all the way to exist, no matter what, because it actually thinks that it exists, and it doesn't exist. And this is why they say, one of the greatest tricks that the devil ever did was not fooling people and manipulating people and deceiving. There's no devil, but just understand where I'm going with the story. The greatest trick he ever did to man was to prove to him that he doesn't exist. See, but it fights to exist, but it doesn't really exist. So every time you had to take that inhale from holding your breath, that means you had to go back in hell. Because hell is not going to let you go that quickly and that easy. Because you're in hell. We're living in hell. Like the Mobb Deep album, the first album of Mobb Deep was called Hell on Earth. This is hell on earth. But earth is the heart, like I told you. This is hell on earth. The skin or the body on the heart. But it's actually earth within hell. The heart within the biology of the human body. Okay? Keep this in mind. Kima, K-I-M-A-H. The illusion of evil. Illusion of evil. If one word, this is when I start playing with words. Now you're dealing with language arts. This is why I say we're trying to connect the dots upon where hell is at and where heaven is at by using common sense. Nowadays, like the death of common sense, which is why you can't even hold a regular damn conversation with 9.9 out of 10 individuals. We're looking at words that look like each other, sound like each other, because they're definitely related. You look like your mother, you look like your father. Are you related to them? Genetically? Yes, you are related. So we're looking at words like breath, brethren, brother. Breath means to bear oath. You bear the oath. The oath is this body, this life, this experience. This is an oath. This is a contract. When your soul made contact, first within the mouth and the esophagus, then the lungs. That first damn breath that organism took. So, kima this as we go along. If one word looks like another word, sounds like another word, spelled like another word, has the same letters and or same amount of letters as another word, then both words are related indefinitely. This is why I say hell whole. H-O-L-E as well as W-H-O-L-E, the whole body. The whole in the whole body leads you to the hell, to the fire, to the gastrointestinal tract. The same way you look like your parents, like genetic phenotypical appearance, genetic phenotypical appearance of you, your family members and your family members and your children, due to the fact that you are related to them, is the same example of relation when it comes to words. It validates and confirms the fact of relation or relating. Period. Okay? So to relate, to find a relation between two words, to relate is to relight, to ignite the mind again for that enlightenment. Or to have something relit. Relate, relight, relit. You're relitting the wicker. Okay? And that's the part of the candle that you light before it gets to the actual wax, the wicker. You're relighting the wicker. when you actually find a relation between words and between definitions or descriptions of things, you find this relation, you say, damn, that shit looks like that word is spelled kind of like that word uses the same letters as that word. These shits got to be related. They got to be connected somehow. I got to make the connection. I have to find out the connection between these two words. And whatever the connection between these two words points me towards, using common sense, then that's what these two words were disguising themselves to be, but it really means this. It really means this. It really means this. Just touch me upon hell at the moment. Okay? Now you got words inside of hell. Next doorway is words inside of hell. Like you got demons inside of hell, right? There's demons in hell. Okay, let's look at the word demon. Now, kima, what I told you before, keep in mind and heart, Kimah, of the relation and the sounding like of words, of two different words that sound alike, that are spelled alike, start with the same first letter, end with the same last letter, have the same amount of letters, almost, we're looking for relation to these words to kind of point it to where it's supposed to be pointed to, which it kind of always kind of ties back to energy, principles, forces in the human body. It doesn't really point to an address or a location. It doesn't really point to these things. I'm going to go through with you. You got words like demon, right? They say demons are in hell. Demon is also the word domain. Domain, like a website, like a level or a stage or a place or a space. This is what domain means. And domain is the word demon. We're looking at the word demon. D-E-M-O-N. D-E-M-O-N. We're looking at what entities reside, or what they told us, or what we've been told these entities, these kind of entities reside inside of hell. Right? So we have another word. One of the words is domain, which is also the word demon. Okay? Demon is also the word domain. Domain, like I said, is nothing but a level, stage, place, or space. Doesn't mean any damn thing. Also, demon is also the word D-man, or without D space M-A-N. So that means basically to destroy man, or the destruction of humanity. This is what demon means. This is what it's related to. Okay? Demon is also the word diamond, like a diamond ring with diamonds on your ring, or diamonds on your jewelry. This is what demon is. Demon is diamond, which is nothing but a color spectrum, hardening, pressurization, clear, alluring stone mineral. Now, stones and minerals, isn't that something that when people have, they say they have a gold stone, or they're trying to piss out a stone, a kidney stone, stone mineral. So once again, demon is tying us back to the human body, talking about minerals, alloys, stones, clear, right? Hardening, pressurization, color spectrum. Your organs are colors. Your blood are certain colors, or goes through certain color spectrums. The body itself is a color spectrum, or a light condensation. Light condensed into something you can touch is what you call skin. So this is a color spectrum. So demon, once again, is tying back to something that we can relate, which is actually something within the body. A crystallization, right? That's what demon. It's a diamond. The diamond is a certain kind of crystallization. Crystallization is also connected to the word demon, which is a crystallizing. So you have alchemy, which is crystallization. Under crystallization is alchemy, transformation, conversion, elemental activity. This is crystallization. What do you think the word Christ comes from? So this, I'm going to go along this. You're going to understand that Christ, what you call Christ, and demon is the same damn thing. Because demon is diamond. Diamond is nothing but a crystallization. Crystallized, or Christ is Christ. So is Christ inside of the diamond or the demon? Or is demon inside of the crystallization or the Christ? Are they one and the same? Is it explaining people, or is it explaining a certain kind of metaphysical understanding? Is it explaining biology? Is it explaining alchemy? Is it explaining astrology? Make it Doesn't make sense to you. So, you have just going across certain words because I have a whole. This is based upon a whole uh PowerPoint that I go and I have like pictures of certain things as well that I'll touch upon with people during classes and things of that nature when they want to understand and go deeper into this. Like I said, I can only go but so deep when I'm talking to a damn camera. Okay, I have a lot of other things I can give out and send to emails to have a further, more deeper understanding and clarity, pictures, writings, etc. Okay, to prove this fact that what you call heaven and hell is nothing but different uh, spaces within the body, different things that happen in the chemical and the biology and the blood within your body and brain. There's no place out there somewhere or underneath somewhere. It's garbage. Okay. Um, Also, demon backwards is nomad, which you can also look at nomad as the word named. Demon backwards is nomad. Take the O out, put an A there, and you get the word name, which means the named one or the one who has a name is the true demon, which is you. You are a demon. You have a name. You are the named one. You are the one which was named when you came out of that womb. Okay, which is basically your body and your identity. This is where that saying comes from. You are your worst enemy. Now, let me touch upon that. When they say, yo, you're your worst enemy, you're your worst enemy, you're your worst enemy, you are your worst enemy, you are your worst enemy. We heard this saying. But what does that really mean? You are your worst enemy, like I am Blue Amias. Blue Amias is my worst enemy. When I say my, I'm talking about the soul. I'm talking about me, because what I truly am is here. I'm trapped here. And I think I'm somebody named Blue Amias. But I don't really think that. I'm just saying. So you are your worst enemy. Your identity is your soul's worst enemy. Your name is your soul's worst enemy. Your body is your soul's worst enemy. This organism that has grown up to become an adult, from a baby and a child to an adult, is your soul's worst enemy, because you actually think that you are this person. You actually think that that is your name. You actually think that this is your body. This is why you are your worst enemy. You are your worst enemy. Okay, that's where that understanding comes from, or where that saying comes from. Now you have things like this, things like you know, um, monsters in hell, right? Uh, monster is also moon star, which is nothing but skylight, distant, furthest. Monster is also, when I say moon star, we're related to the moon and star, so monster just means astrology. You see, and astrology influences our biology and has an effect on our psychology. So once again, this is not pointing to a place called hell somewhere underneath some ground or some dirt. It's tying it back to the biology and the body and the being. It's not really giving an address, some location, or a zip code somewhere. It's actually coming right back to the immediate one, which is you. Something inside of you, which is transpiring, parallel to something projected outside of you that has an effect on your biology and your psychology in a certain way, dealing with chemistry, alchemy. The word monster is also the word menstrual. Monster, menstrual, which is, of course, period, cycle, cleansing, balance, fluctuation, transformation, ridding, detection. So monsters monster in hell is also menstrual. The menstrual. Why do you think the menstrual happens right where hell is supposed to be at, where the so-called monsters exist? So we went across demons. Now we're touching upon monsters. They say monsters are in hell, right? So we're touching upon monster. We got a moon star. We have menstrual, which is once again tying back into the body, the biology of something, of someone, woman. Monster is also connected to the word monastery. Monastery is nothing but building, construction, the principles of these words. Building, construction, sanctum, sacred, divinity. Sacred. You have a bone, which is a part of your spine. I don't want to say a tailbone because you don't got no damn tails. But the bottom part of your spine is what is known as a sacrum bone. So monster is the word monastery. Monastery means sacred or sanctum. You have a sacrum bone at the bottom where the root chakra is at, where the red chakra is at. Right? The devil is red. And it has horns. Horns just means horny, harmonious, harmony. That's why the devil is red. That's why it has horns, because red is the root chakra. The root chakra is where you get horny, where where intercourse takes place, where sexuality gets to play from organism to organism, body to body, person to person. Okay, it gets a little more certain ways. I can't really go too deep with it because, like I said, this is actually a PowerPoint, but I'm just touching upon certain things at the moment to give a certain kind of idea. Um, the word monster is also the word master. Principles of master is graduation, completion, highest grade, knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Your mastery is here, where your monster is at, in hell. It's in the deepest hole. And that's where the two holes are in your body, right? Whether you have a vagina or penis, phallus or yoni, you have holes. Two holes on the bottom. The hole is symbolic of the hell, which is where you can have a child at, which is another hell being. Hellboy or another hell girl. There was a time in ancient times or antiquitous times or times of antiquity where it was opposite when you look at the funeral and the birth. A funeral, they celebrated, and it was very festive. It was very ceremonial. It was very ritualistic, and they were happy. They were enjoying. They were bouncing. They were laughing. Some were even jealous because that being left that hell, that body, and went on to his next transition, went on to his next transcendental experience. And some people were kind of jealous during the funeral or dealing with what you know as funerary rites, um, according to Egyptian mythology. I mean, Egyptian spiritual rites, spiritual systems. And birth, people cried. You see, it's not like nowadays where we have funerals and people cry, and when the baby's being born, people are celebrating and having a joyous occasion because we think that it's a beautiful thing. Uh, but the mind frame that we have now, we appreciate babies and this and that, that and this, and fine, so be it. It's neither here nor there. It's not right or wrong. It just is what it is. But I'm saying back then we used to cry when somebody was born because we knew that it was another spirit and soul being trapped inside of the hell body, or another hell, or another body, or another person. Now it thinks that it's an identity, it thinks that it's a name. It falls in love with this body. You see, that's what narcissism is. We became narcissistic. We fell in love with this body and forgot about the sleeping giant, which is the soul inside this body, trapped, waiting for that ultimate last release, that last exhale, to exit hell, to leave out the body. Okay. Monster is also the word minister. which is injection and infusion. Isn't that what chemistry does? Chemistry infuses within the biology of the body, right? Monster is also minister injection. The soul got vacuumed or sucked in or injected inside of this body, inside of this organism. So once again, we're looking at the word master and what it sounds like, what it's related to, or what it's connected to, other words that's connected to, and it's pointing us right back inside of the body. Okay? Now you have words like jinn or jinns, which is another word for demons. They reside within hell, right? Jinn is also the word G-Y-N. This is why you have gynecology. See? Which is once again where the root chakra is at, right? The jinn, the gyne, the gyne, the gyna, vagina, gynecologist, gynecology, the jinn, the gyne. Another way of looking at that is gyna, or the word jinn is also the word gene or genes. And genes are nothing but things that hold memory, structure, bone, blood, skin. So these jinns, these evil jinns are in hell, or these evil jinns keep you trapped in hell. These evil genes, which is inside of the cell of the body, of the human body. You also have another word that's connected to the word jinn is the word genie. Genie is nothing but a wish master, desire, possession, need, want. That's what the root chakra is. It's desire to possess somebody sexually, or the mind to possess. See, everything is pointing to the biology and the psychology of the human body. It's not pointing to a place or a location somewhere, or a person called devil, or a person called God. It's not pointing to these things. Okay. Another word for jinn that's connected to jinn is genius, which is the mind. That deals with the mind. To be a genius, to be a brilliance, to be brilliant, to be smart. Okay. Yeah. So we're gonna go over that at the moment. Now they say you're cursed to hell. The word curse, is the word cursive. It's connected to the word cursive, which it just means script or scripture or literature or writing. Doesn't mean something of bad or evil nature. It's just a writing. It's just words that connect in cursive, which is scripture or calligraphy, if you will. So curse is also the word course, which is directional navigation. There is directions and navigations within the anatomy of the human body. Okay. Curse is also the word coerce, which is anonymity, unknownness, indirect. You don't know of your soul. It is unknown to you. It is an anomaly or anonymity. It's anonymous to you. You forgot that you were sleeping all the way down here. Okay. Curse is also the word Christ. I'm just saying what it's connected to. It sounds like it, spelled like it, similar letters in it. It's the same damn word. It's the same damn thing. They are connected. They are related. You make the connection, you find out the relation. Okay? Now the next word is evil, right? Hell is evil. It's evil. All right? What's the word evil connected to? Or what does the word evil sound like? Evil is also the word unveil, which only means to uncover, unravel, reveal, expose, show. So what you know as evil is actually the word unveil, which means nothing but to uncover, unravel, reveal, expose, show. Once again, that kind of points to the human body, right? Naked, dressed, reveal, unravel, unraveling the mind. expose, to show. This is what the word evil is connected to. Unveil. Another word for evil is avail. So you have unveil and you have avail, which is veil is the covering. So avail is also connected to the word evil. A veil just means something covering, something of discreetness, a discreet nature. Does not this skin and this body cover the organs and the anatomy inside of it? Does not it cover it? This skin is known as a veil. So the evil is actually the veil, the skin. This is why you have skin is the same damn word as sin. Sin is skin. Okay. Um. You also have evil is also avail, like available, which is free will or free willingness. Available. Evil, available. So it just means to be willing to. And you're only willing to when you are in the human body. Willpower is something prior to the body, the human body, something that just is. But we learn of will and willpower inside of the human body, inside of the human life, dealing with the human mind and the human experience. So once again, evil or evil is available. When you are available, then you are being evil. That is the same damn words, the same thing. Evil is also evening, which is why they say it's evil, it's dark down there, it's evil in hell, this and that. It's very evil. All these evil creatures, and it's just an evil atmosphere. But what do they mean by that? Evil is the evening. Evening means nighttime. Nighttime means darkness. Is not your organ surrounded in darkness inside of the human body? Yes, it is. Everything inside the body is surrounded in darkness. That is the evil. Okay, that is the evening. The word evil is also connected to the word anvil. And anvil is nothing but weight or sink. You have sunk into this thing, which is the human body. You sunk into it. You are an anvil. You are the anvil. The soul became the anvil that sunk deep into the body and became this weight, which is the human body or the human weight. You see, you got anchored. The anvil became anchored. The soul became stuck or trapped inside of the human body. The soul became sealed. Like the seals you see on the wall, the two seals, these symbols. These are symbols that also the soul is trapped in between. It's stuck behind these seals. So the soul became sealed by what? By the human body. By the veil, by the evil, by the darkness, by the evening. Okay? Let's look at the word hell. Hell is also the word hylic or helic, which in Greek mythology is known as the people of Hyle, which is nothing but helic or hell is also the word helix. Hyle or hail or hylic or helic is the human body. Okay, it's the human body. The people of helic are the organisms, bacterium, microorganisms, bacterium, energy transformation, chemical infusion that happens within the human body. Okay, the word hell is also the word helix. Hell comes from the word helic or helike. Helike is the word helix. Helix is nothing but blood, genes, memory, serpentine energy. This is what helix is. Helix is hell. So once again, the word hell ties into helix, which is the serpentine energy, the blood, the genes, connected to the chromosomes in your body. Okay? Hell is also the word helium. Helium deals with the breath, the lungs, element, and chemical. It's all tying back to the body. Hell is also the word whole or holy. Hell means holy. So if you are of hell, then you are holy. Holy meaning what? You have many holes and tubes and pipes within these veins and arteries of this human anatomy. You are the holy one. But I thought holy was more connection with heaven. That's the same damn word as hell. How is hell and holy, holy and hell connected to each other? Why are they spelled with the same letters? Why do they have the same amount as letters? Or the same amount as letters as each other? Hell has 4 words, holy has 4 words. And remember, words are nothing but symbols. Words are nothing but things composed of a group of letters. Letters are nothing but symbols. Okay? Hell, holy, it's the same damn word. Hell is also heel, like the heel of your foot, the lower body, the stance, structure, posture, grounding. So hell is the heel of your foot, which means once again, hell is the human body. Right? Hell is also the word heel, like Heal. So we're talking about the heel of the foot, and then we're talking about healing. So the hell is the heel or the healing of the body, which keeps you in hell. So every time you heal your body, you are remaining in hell. So to heal means to remain in hell. Hell is heal is hell. Don't look at this as wrong or right. Don't look at this as good or bad. Don't look at this as positive or negative. This is all about understanding. To have a deeper understanding, to pierce through the membrane to deeper wisdom and gnosis. Of a deeper understanding of what these words, descriptions, and definitions really truly mean by using common sense. Okay, use your common sense. Think. Don't be afraid to think. Don't be afraid to question your answers. As much as you answer your questions, you better have a very fair amount of percentage of questioning your answers. Don't think you know everything because you don't. When you moralize things and you look at things as judgment, that's hell and that's heaven. That's of God and that's of the devil. And then I've lost you, and you've lost the message because you're dealing with the messenger, which is me. Forget the messenger. I don't mean shit. This is a message. If you want to go deeper into things, you have to even deal with the understanding of language arts. Words that sound like words or look like words or spell with the same letter as another word, depending upon the same first letter or the same 2 or 3 letters as another word, it's the same. They are tied into each other. Or even have the same letters but just in different order. It's the same damn thing. And you have to find out, what is this same thing? What is this tying me into? Where is this always bringing me back to? So far, the list I've been going through is bringing us back to the human body. It's bringing us back to the body, biology, anatomy, psychology, spirit, elements, forces, and principles. It's not bringing us to any location or address of hell or heaven. So far. This is not me trying to prove a case or prove a point. I'm just using common sense. I'm linking the common thread to get to the common Godhead of understanding and wisdom and gnosis. Okay? Trust me, there's a lot of stuff that I have. Like I said, this is for PowerPoint purposes only, where I can go deeper and deeper into things with pictures and a whole bunch of stuff. But let's just keep it where it's at the moment. Hell is also the word whole. Whole is as your veins, your pipes, your tubes, your arteries. It's a hauling or a hole. And this is why these holes, through these holes, or the piercing of these holes, or the effect, however you do the healing on a person, if it does not affect the holes, then they do not uh then it doesn't sustain their health. See, so healing, you have to have an effect on the holes within the anatomy or the biology of the body, which is the veins, the arteries, the capillaries, the bronchioles, the ganglia, the dendrites, the axons, these wirings that wire out throughout the body, like the parasympathetic nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system, the somatic nervous system, the central nervous system, these veins, these holes, these tubes, these pipes, these holes, if these holes aren't affected, or if they aren't affected by the healing, then that person releases out that hell. But if you heal the person through these holes, and that soul remains in that hell, which is that human body. Okay. Let's look at the word heaven. Heaven. Another word for heaven, or related to the word heaven, is the word haven. Haven, the principles of haven is covenant, shelter. Is not this body a covenant and a shelter for the soul which resides within it, and the spirit which animates inside it? Is it not a covenant? Is it not a sheltering, a shell? Shelter is the word shell. Shell is where the word hell is connected to. This is why you get shelter. You get helter, like helter skelter. The skeleton inside of the hell, which is covered by the shell, or the sin, which is the skin. See, it's all tying back into, like I said, you have to have a grasp of language arts. It'll take you a long, long way. But you cannot get this deep understanding if you are looking at anything or listening to me with the judgment and morality. It just doesn't exist. It just doesn't happen. You're not going to get it. You're going to get personal, and you may show up this video before I even go any further. I'm sure some of you already have. But this is not based upon emotion. This is based upon understanding. If you get emotional and personal, then guess what? You just got caught up and trapped inside the personality and the identity, which means that you are still keeping your soul trapped. You love hell. Well, I don't like hell. I don't deal with hell. It's the devil and demons. Well, if you get emotional and you're getting personal, and that means that your personality is overriding the principality, which means that the illusion is overriding the reality. Okay? Just something to keep in mind in design. The word heaven is also the word even, because you have the word even inside of the word heaven. And of course, even just means equal, like, or same. The upper body is the same as the lower body. The lower body is the same as the higher body. The heaven, the even. Okay? I don't want to get too much into that. But you also have another word that's connected to the word heaven, is the word hevel. Hevel is vapor or smoke, which could mean possibly the soul and the spirit, the breath. So we found out that hell is in the body, or hell is the body, or the body is hell. So now we're looking at heaven, and heaven is kind of tying in also to the body, right? Dealing with hevel, which is vapor or smoke, which can mean the breath, it can mean the spirit, or it can mean the soul. Vapor or smoke, which means intangible, or that which is invisible. Transparency, translucent, unseen, hidden. So now, even the word heaven, like the word hell, is tying us back to the body. Looking at the connection and the relation, dealing under the study of language arts. When something looks like something, sounds like something, it's related to that something. Find the connection, connect the dots. The word devil, right? Let's look at the word devil. The word devil is also the word devil. Like the car, the DeVille, or Cruella DeVille. She has the black and the white, which is nothing but yin yang, light and darkness. So the word devil is the word devil, and that's a car, which is nothing but a vehicle or transportation. Is not this body a vehicle of transportation? The devil, the devil. So, am I saying that you're the devil? Am I saying that you live in hell, or hell lives within you? Hell lives within the devil. But also, heaven is here too. Heaven is a body as well. What does this mean? Is heaven and hell actually the same location, the same zip code, the same address? Is the devil and God next door neighbors or roommates? The word devil is also the word devoid, which means to free yourself from, right? To free yourself from what? The human body. To exit hell with the last exhale. So the word devil is also the word devoid. The word devil also means, or is also connected to the word deviate, which means to redirect elsewhere. Isn't that what you do with your mind and energy and forces inside of your body? You can redirect your mind and your attention on different things. You can acknowledge different things when you choose to, when you want to, when something catches your attention or holds your interest. So once again, deviate, devil, even that means the human body and the human mind, the human biology and the human psychology, which means the body. Once again, the immediate one, you. Um, devil also means, was also connected to the word develop. So devil is the word develop. Did you not grow and develop in this body? So is this body the devil? Is developing to be of the devil's nature? Uh, the word devil also means device. This mind and this body is a device. The word devil and device is the same word, same thing. Uh, devil is also the word devout. So you're devoted. You're devout to something. You can only devout to something inside the human body, the human biology and the human psychology. You can't devout yourself to something without this body, without this present moment, without this present life, this human experience, this human condition. The word devil is also the word devour, which means consumption, digestion, to take in. You can only devour something inside of the human biology and human psychology. Internal, 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 internal. The word devil, internal, internal, internal. The word hell, internal, internalized, internalized, internal. The word jinn, internalized. The word demon, internalized. Okay? Um, the word devil also is connected to the word divide. The word devil is also connected to the word division. The word devil is also connected to the word divine. But I thought divine was supposed to be of heaven. Does the devil live in heaven? Does the heaven live in the devil? Is the devil and heaven the same thing? So, devil is also connected to the word divination. Devil, divination. You can look up the word divination, but it means to draw out through a certain kind of practice as well called libation. To draw something out, the spirit, right? Where's the spirit at? Let's look at the word Satan, right? They say Satan is in hell. Okay, let's look at the word Satan. Satan is also the word satin or satin, like a cloth, a piece of cloth, a texture. Satin is Satan. which means a smooth, glossy, and surfaced finish. Smooth, glossy, surfaced finish. The skin is a finished product. It can be smooth, it can be glossy. You have smooth muscle inside the body as well. You have two forms of muscle, maybe two or three forms. But I know you have striated muscle and you have smooth muscle or cardiac muscle, which is the heart. But you have smooth muscle, which is the stomach, and you have striated muscle, which is the arms. So you have a smooth muscle. So we've seen the word smooth inside the word satin, which is related to the word Satan, that we tied back to the biology of the human body. Okay. Satan also is the same word as suntan. Satan is also the word suntan. Also the word suntan. Right? Suntan just means receiving light and turning darker. Right? Isn't that what the devil was? He was an angel in the heavens that had the light of God, and then he got cast down into a dark atmosphere, fiery dark atmosphere. Satan is suntan. As funny and as strange as it may sound, but it's definitely connected. Language arts. Everything is being internalized little by little as we keep going along with this video. It's not pointing us to some place up or down. It's pointing us to a place inside and inner. The word Satan is also the word Saturn, like the planets, which means the mind. Right? They say, oh, Satan has influence over you. He makes you do things that you don't want to do. He can be conniving and tricking and manipulating and deceiving. Isn't that can only take place in the mind. So how is the word Satan and Saturn connected? It's the same damn word. It's the same thing. So Satan is also the word Saturn, which is the planet Saturn. Satan is also the word saint. I thought saints were in heaven. I thought saints were good people, good angels, good things. How can the word Satan also be connected to the word saint? And when you look at saint is related to the word taint, which is once again the taint. That piece of skin in between the sexual organ and the anal canal. That is the taint, which is the saint, which is the Satan, which is the root chakra, which is the red devil, right? Make sense of it how you will. Now let's look at the word. Hold on 1 second. Video ain't over yet. It's not over yet, but it ain't that long either. It's got a few more points to touch upon and some pictures to show you as well. I want to show y'all some pictures as well and some points that I'm making to make it a little clearer for you. If you want to get a more deeper understanding of where I'm going with this and where this is actually going, where it actually gets deeper and deeper on, so I can get real deep on the subject, hit me on the email, the information on the bottom of the video, and we can set up a PowerPoint Zoom session as well to go further and deeper on this to get more and more clarity on what I'm pertaining to and what I'm describing at its most innate, most insidious level of gnosis. Comes with plenty of pictures and notes as well. Now, the next word we're going to look at is Lucifer, which is another word for the devil. Satan, devil, Lucifer. What is Lucifer connected to? Lucifer is connected to the words lucid fire. Lucid fire. Lucid just means something vivid, something that can be seen. Fire is fire. So to see a fire. So Lucifer is not a person, it's not a name, it's a description or a describing of a place and thing. Lucifer is lucid fire or vivid light. To see the light, to come into enlightenment. But wait, I thought enlightenment was good. I thought that was of heaven and God to become of enlightenment and something positive and pure and beautiful. But wasn't Lucifer one of the most beautiful angels of God? So-called, supposedly, according to religious scriptures and texts. Lucifer, lucid fire, vivid light, to see light. Right? That's what it's pertaining to. That's what it's connected to. Now they say the devil is underground, right? Under the ground. The devil is under the ground. Hell is under the ground. Let's look at this. Devil is underground. Underground means undercrowned or under the crown. The crown chakra is here. The devil is underground. Undercrowned. Under the crown, which is the root chakra. Crown chakra, root chakra. It's under the crown. Underground means under the crown. Under the earth is the heart. The heart is the earth. I always say, take the H, the last letter of the word earth, put it in the beginning, you get the word heart. So heart is the earth, which is here. The earth, the ground, under the crown. The devil is underground, undercrowned. Okay, or under the crown chakra. So the devil is underground means it's under the crown chakra. Underground also means undergrind or the grinded under or the grounded, which is the mineralized, the grained, the micro life intelligence, which is once again where the gases and the bacteria and all this other stuff resides here. This is where the devil is at. The devourer. That's what devil is also connected to. Remember, devour. You devour food, you consume food, it gets digested in the lungs and it gets digested in the intestines. After you devoured it, then you become the devil. In hell, underground, under the crown chakra. You are now residing within the root chakra, which is once again is pertaining to the location of the soul. Yeah, it says, under the ground is under earth. Of course, that means under heart. And under earth just means under an oath. The oath that you took, like I said, is the physical life of the physical body. This is the oath that you took. So you went under an oath. The devil is under earth. You are under an oath. Okay? You took an oath. And you have to stand under it. And let's look at the word vain. The next word is vain. Don't speak God's name in vain. Don't speak in vain. I mean, we don't really got to go too crazy with this. You got veins in your damn body. The word vein itself means biology. It means human anatomy. This is where blood and pressure and things flow through these pipes, through these tubes, through these holes, through these hells. Vain. Don't speak in vain. Don't speak God's name in vain. Vain is also vanity. Vanity is of the body, of the brain, of the matrix, of the personality, of the identity, of the ego, of the self-grandizement. Vanity, trickery, Maya. Gaia, illusion, which can only happen between the biology and the psychology of the human body. Now, we're going to go into the 9 circles of hell. Wait, before I get into that, let me just show you something, what I'm talking about. Let me give a point real quick. You have the name Christ and you have the name Lucifer. Now, they tell you that these are 2 different people or 2 different entities or beings that reside in 2 different locations. Christ resides in the heavens. Lucifer resides in hell, right? But I have something interesting to share with you is that, do you know in your brain, in the dura mater of your brain, right in the middle slither of your brain, right in this little slither right here, inside of the brain, you have 2 locations of something, which are side by side together as my hands are together. My hands are touching together. These things are touching themselves. They're touching each other's orbit. They're making contact with each other. This is what is known, now I'm talking about in biological terms or according to biology. This is the biology that we've been taught, that we've been given. Now remember, use common sense, use language arts, and use the relation and connection of words and letters and pronunciations because they are related. These 2 things that touch together in your brain, and it's 2 triangles or triangular shaped things. One is called Crista Galli. It's called Crista Galli. The other part is called septum lucidum. Septum lucidum. Now you look at the word Crista Galli, you would break it down and say Christ. If you relate it to something, you relate it to Christ. Crista Galli is Christ. This part of the brain, or this side of that, is called septum lucidum. Lucidum is Lucifer. So you have the Crista and you have the lucidum. You have the Christ and you have the Lucifer. These 2 things are touching in your brain. In the middle of your brain, this is where the septum lucidum is at. Right there. If you can see it clearly, it says septum lucidum. That's inside of your brain. Septum lucidum. Okay? Inside of your brain, inside of our brain. This is a piece inside of that same section of the brain. This part is called the Crista Galli. As you can see, it's in the middle part of the brain. This is the eye sockets, this is the nose, and this in the middle is where this is at. And this is called Crista Galli. As you can see, Crista Galli. And underneath it is called the cribriform plate. Right? Christ was a baby in the crib. Crista Galli cribriform plates. This is a picture of a skeleton, of a skull. Nose, where the nose goes, where the eyes go, and this right here, this line is what this is. The Christ in the heavens. Okay? Just want to make sure you understood that at the moment. And I'm going to show you in a little while what the hell this is. This thing. The septum lucidum. And it's right in the middle of the brain. Right next to the crystal galley. Christ and Lucifer are fucking roommates. They're neighbors. Heaven and hell is in one home. Okay? I go even more deeper into that in the PowerPoint presentation. I get real deep into that. That goes a lot more innate. I just wanted to show you that before I touch upon this. Now, the 9 circles of hell. Now, yeah, the 9 circles of hell, and also the 7 deadly sins. Right? The 9 circles of hell, including with including of the 7 deadly sins. Let's go to 9 circles of hell for now. You have lust, fraud, gluttony or glutton, heresy, violence, treachery, limbo, greed, and wrath. Once again, lust, fraud, gluttony or glutton, heresy, violence, treachery, limbo, greed, wrath. Now, when you break these down according to language arts, do any of these words tie into something that is of a biological nature or anatomical nature? The word lust is also the word lister or listeria or lumbar or lung, which ties into the anatomy of the human body. The word fraud is related to the word frenulum. Look at the word frenulum, and you'll see what I'm talking about is once again tied into somewhere within the biology and anatomy of the human body. Lust, fraud. Fraud is also frontal, which is the frontal lobe. Okay? Gluttony or glutton. Glutton is gullet or gluten or gut. This is where you are glutton. You are glutton because you eat. You eat too much and it goes into the gut. So you become a glutton one. This is gluttony. Gluttony is gluten, which is within foods and consumption of foods, and the gut. So glutton is gluten, the gut. Heresy just means hear and see. The ears and the eyes. Heresy, hear and see, which means the ear and eye, or the eye and the ear. Once again, resorting back to the human biology and anatomy of the physical body. These are what is known as the 9 circles of hell. The 9 circles of hell. So far, the first 3 or 4 words, we're tying it back into the biology and the anatomy of the damn human body. Internalize, internalize, internalize what I'm telling you. Make it an internal reality. The word violence is the 5th circle of hell. The word violence is connected to the word villus or ventral or vein or vascular. This is what violence is connected to, which is the 5th circle of hell. Ventral and the vein and the villus, these are all anatomy or parts of anatomy or parts of biology within the human body. Internalize, internalize, internalize this gnosis. The 6th circle of hell is treachery, to be treacherous. Treachery is also connected to the word trachea or trachea, which is the esophagus or the breathing. The trachea, which is the tricep. So treachery is trachea or tricep, which once again resorts back to the human body biology, the anatomy of the physical body. The seventh circle of hell is limbo, to be in limbo or purgatory. Not in heaven, not in hell, but somewhere in between. This is the seventh circle of hell. Look up the 9 circles of hell when you get a chance. You Google it, you have books, open it, study it, research it, whatever. This is a part of the 9 circles of hell. The seventh circle of hell is limbo. Limbo is connected to the word limbic, like limbic system. The limbic system is a part of your balancing system in your spine. This is what maintains your balance as you walk and sit and stand. The limbic system, the lumbar. Limbo is the lumbar or the limbic system or the lymphatic system. The lymphatic system is a part of the, you have lymph nodes as well. The lymphatic system is like the system that's right underneath the other sensitized system of the sympathetic nervous system, or the I forgot what you call it, but it's called the lymphatic system. Check it out yourself. This is where limbo, the seventh circle of hell is limbo, which is also the word lymphatic or lumbar or limb, like you have limbs, arms, legs. The limbo, right? Once again, tying us back to something internal, not no place outside or underneath or up top. It's internal. The eighth circle of hell is greed. Greed is also the word gland or growing, like you're growing. A man's growing, which is his sexual organ, his private area. You're growing. That's greed. And gland. It's tied into itself. These words are connected indefinitely, especially when you see majority of them are tied to biology. How can 1 or 2 words not be tied to the biology? Of course it is. You got to find out where it's tied into. And there's other words that start with GR that's also of a biological and anatomical name, which I leave out for the PowerPoints. And the 9th circle of hell is the word wrath. This is the 9th circle of hell. The last circle of hell is wrath. Wrath is connected to the word urethra, which is a part of the phallus, the sexual organ, the urethra. Okay? So you have these 9 circles of hell, which are nothing but 9 disguising names of certain organs and glands and systems and operations and functions that happen in the anatomical structure of the biological body. Also had including hate. Hate just means heat, which is hetero or heterosexual. Hate is hetero or heterosexual. Hate is also heat, which is what the body does, right? It produces heat. It's hate. And you have jealousy. Jealousy is congeal. It's connected to the word congeal or gel or plasma, which is once again the DNA in the blood of the human body. You also have the word envy. Envy just means it's connected to the word endo or endometrium or endotherm. See, so which is inside of the skin or the other side of the inside skin. Endoderm, endometrium. You're dealing with the womb. You're dealing with the inner skin of the womb, the inner skin of the outside skin. So envy is endo. And then you have sloth. Last but not least, you have sloth, which is connected to the word stool or saliva. Stool, of course, comes from your feces, which is once again tied back to the root chakra, to the red devil and the hell. Okay? I just want to say this as far as jealousy. If you worship a God that is a jealous God, and jealousy is a part of the 7 deadly sins, which is connected to the 9 circles of hell, which is connected to the physiology and anatomy and biology of the human body, and you worship a God that is of a jealous nature, and that means that you are worshiping the body. You're not worshiping a God. The God is of the body. So if you think you're doing something great and good and magnificent, pure and holy, to some kind of moralized behavioral concept of what you think is a certain kind of behavior, then according to this path, you are very, very lost. You're not giving attention to something outside. You're actually worshiping what is known as a deity that keeps you here. And I touched upon deity and the understanding of deity, gods, and the demiurge in my video, about 2 videos before this one, called What is a Diet? The diet is the deity. The demiurge is up here and the deity is down here. Devil, deity, demiurge is no coincidence, accident, or mistake where all these names start with the letter D. Diet, demiurge, deity, devil. So you think you're actually worshiping a god, but you're actually worshiping a devil, a deity, something you're paying homage to the demiurge, which means that you're keeping yourself. You are willingly and being a willing participant, voluntarily keeping your mind and your soul and your spirit trapped. How the hell can a god be jealous? And jealousy is part of one of the 7 deadly sins, or the 7 deadly skins, the 7 deadly embodiments, the 7 deadly prisons, the 7 deadly entrapments. What are you really worshiping? And why the hell is this God jealous? And if it is jealous, then it's just of the human body. This is not me making this up. I just do the research and the study and I kick it back according to what I learn and what I know. And I tell you, look it up for yourself. Don't believe anything I'm saying. Don't believe shit I'm saying. Look it up for yourself. And you find out. Of course, they say the devil is below or hell is below. Below just means the bellow or the belly or the bile or the bilirubin. That's what below. The devil is below. Hell is below. Below is the bellow. B-E-L-O-W is also the word B-E-L-L-O-W, which just means belly, the body. And the bottom is where bile is at, right? From your bilirubin, your shit, your feces. So where's hell really? What is this devil they're talking about? Where is this hell place at? I'm tying all these words back, these so-called, known words of hell and all this other negativity or whatever's going on, this agenda, back to the biology and anatomy of the physical body and the physiological operation of the human being within their human body. Okay, look at the word sin. Of course, I touched upon that before. The word sin is the word skin. The word sin is the word sign. The word sin is the word sinus. Sinus, like your nose. So is it a sin to breathe? According to what I talked about earlier in the video, yeah, because this organism named blue sucked me in. It breathed me in. And I got stuck down here as the solar being that I truly am. See? So the sin is the sinus, the cinema. Life is a cinema. Life is an unfolding of events, moment to moment, day by day. It's a cinema. You're living out a movie. You're living out a script. So sin is a cinema. You chose to live out a script, a cinema. And you actually think that you are somebody named Blue Amias. You actually think that you're this body. You actually think that you're wearing these rings and this chain around your neck. Okay, now let's talk about the archangels. The archangels. And when we look at angels or angel, we always refer that to the word angle. Because angel and angle are the same damn thing. Right? Now the archangels. Now, angels have wings, correct? Correct. These things in your brain they look like they have wings, right? Doesn't that look like it has wings on it? This is another picture of it, the front and back of it. And these wings kind of look, this form or this picture kind of looks actually kind of demonic, according to our brainwashing, according to our training of what evil and pure or good and bad is. This is in your brain, where the angels with wings fly. Make of it what you will. Angels with wings, angles of light. Okay, let's look at the archangels. The archangel is nothing but arched angles. Angles, which means light bending intelligences or light benders. Arced angles of intelligence. Archaic angels, which is nothing but degrees of guidance, which is God is a guide. Guide is God. God is guide. So why God has an army of angels and he guides, he puts these angels in certain positions, in certain places, in certain titles. Because he is the God, he is the guide. He's the thing that guides the angles of light, which is your mind, which is your perception, which is your knowledge, your gnosis, your wisdom, your understanding, once again tying it back to the human body and the brain and the mind and the being, which is you, inside of this vessel, inside of this hell. Okay, now the archangel, you have Raphael. Raphael also is wrath or wrath. Wrath is wrath, like war. That's why you got Raphael, the Ninja Turtle, with the damn red flag over his eyes, the red thing over his eyes. The red was symbolic of, that's why he was always pissed off, and he was always mad and angry and sour, bitter all the time. He was the wild one, the one that stirred the chaos. Raphael, wrath is the wrath, which is the red chakra, which is the lower, which is the hell, which is the devil. The root chakra, the red devil, quote unquote. He was the wrath. Raphael, the wrath, the root chakra. You have Gabriel, the angel, archangel Gabriel, which is the word Gertie. I want to print something out, I forgot to, but Gertie is nothing but an angle of a diamond. Girdie. It's called Gertie, and this is where the archangel Gabriel actually reside within the diamond or the crystalline, the carbon in your blood, in your body, in your mind, in your spirit. Because a diamond is nothing but crushed carbon. When you crush carbon or you put pressure on carbon, it forms into this thing that we call a diamond. So when you use your blackness, your hidden, your dark aspect of your being, your dark mind, your dark gnosis, and you tap into that dark, that hidden, that unknown, that abstract, that Gnosticism, then you come out with a diamond. And when you turn this diamond, you see angles of light that are being guided by the God. That's being guided. That's where you get the arched angels. And that's where you get a face of the diamond, which is called a Gertie, which is the real thing of where the name Gabriel came from. The arched angel, the arched angle of light off the face of a diamond, which is a Gertie. Okay. You also have the angel Uriel. Uriel, once again, is urethra or urinary. Just means biology, physiology, the psychology. Everything is tied back into the physiology of the human body. Then you have the archangel Michael. Michael just is midichlor or midichlorian. Michael is mitochondria, which is the memory. midichlorian, which is microsentient intelligences that connects the life force to the life form, which is why he descended. See, so all these things are subliminal, extremely subliminal. And the Bible, you have the Bible. Genesis is the genes of Isis, or the hidden, or the spirit. The genes of Isis, or the genius of Isis. This is what the beginning of the Bible, Genesis, because you have to have genes that holds the memory, the chromosomes, everything, the genetic structure before you have a human body. So this has to be passed through the sperm or the spermatozoa. So you have to have a gene of Isis. You have to have a Genesis before a human body appears. And the end, or the ending, towards the ending of the Bible, is Revelation, which is the revolution, or that which is revealed, the appearance, which becomes the human body. So the beginning of the Bible is Genesis, which is the genes of Isis, or the genetic structure, or the genes. And the end is the revelation, which is the human body, the appearance, the one that is revealed, the revolution. The revolution of the sun, the revolution of the body, the revolution of the mind, the revolution of the being. So Genesis and Revelation is genes and physical appearance. Okay. I kind of touched upon that already. If you're worshiping a jealous God, then you're actually worshiping a demon or a deity. Jealousy, okay. Seven sins only exist in the human body, and the seven sins actually exist within the somatic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system, parasympathetic nervous system, and somatic nervous system, which is basically the soma is the emotional body. This is why you become emotional. Well, that's wrong. You know, heaven is this way, and hell is that, and the devil is that, God is this, and you become emotional, which means that you have turned on your somatic body, your sympathetic nervous system, your emotion. You have once again anchored and entrapped the soul inside the damn body. And you keep doing it voluntarily and willingly. You're a willing participant. You are doing a great job at keeping your soul trapped. Worshipping some jealous God, which is insane. Especially if we know that jealousy is one of the seven sins, one of the seven skins of this human damn body. Why do we worship a God that is jealous? That means that that God is not no God. That God is a human being. Who is that human being? That human being is you. You are worshiping you. So worshiping a jealous God, in another way of looking at it, is another form of narcissism. Okay. They say in hell there's light at the bottom, right? Which is the fire. The fire, of course, is known as the is another aspect of light. So fire is at the bottom, which means that light is at the bottom of hell. Where's hell? Hell is here, where the soul is at, right? And the bottom is where the light is at of hell, which means the bottom is the light, which is the hole, which is the anal canal and the sexual organ, right? And in heaven, there's light at the top, right? Heaven is light at the top. So what's the light at the top? The top is the cradle hole or the skull or the crown chakra. See, when the baby is born, there's a hole on top of this, on the top of this skull. And the hole is there because the spirit is trying to decide whether it wants to stay in that body or not and have that experience out with that body. If it does not want to stay in that body to have that, to play out that experience in that role and that script, it'll leave out the top of the hole on the skull. It'll leave. And then that's known as cradle, not cradle death, but the baby would just die, or it would be a dead baby because the spirit chose not to carry out that mission and that being for whatever reason. And this is what we know as spiritual consciousness. You have human consciousness and you have spiritual consciousness. But the human consciousness can't fathom the understanding of the spiritual consciousness, why the spirit chose to have this mission. The human consciousness or the brain can only figure out things, logic, rationalize, have clues and hints and pieces and put these pieces together to have a certain kind of understanding, to have a grasp, to have a certain kind of structure and standing, uh, on their day-to-day life for whatever reason. So they're, most pristine clarity of what's going on and why it's taking place. But it can never fathom the spiritual consciousness of why the spirit consciously chose a body to carry out a mission, a task, and to play out a role, to play out a script for whatever reason. Okay, so in heaven, there's light at the top. What does that mean? The cradle hole of the skull. That's what light at the top means. That's why heaven is up here and it has the hole or the light at the top, which is the cradle hole. The hole closes on top of the baby's skull after the spirit decides that it wants to take on that mission and play that role, carry out that script. That's when the hole closes. Okay, on top of the skull of the baby. This is why they say don't walk over a baby's head. Don't touch a baby's head. Don't touch somebody's top of their head because that's where their skull closed at. When spirit chose to take on that mission. Okay. What else I want to touch upon? In the Bible they say, too, is first there was darkness. At first there was darkness. Darkness just means the womb. Inside the mother's uterus. It could mean that, or it could mean popping out the womb. At first there was darkness before you opened your eyes when you came out the womb. Okay. Now, I want to break some down. You have 12 hells so far that I came across, my understanding. There's 12 hells that the soul is entrapped with. And this is in order of the 12 hells that it became entrapped within. The first hell it became entrapped within, which is the trachea, which is the breathing in, that first breath, that organism, this damn organism took in to entrap me here. This organism named Blue took his first breath and trapped me in the trachea. I became trapped there. The soul became trapped in the trachea. The second hell that the soul became trapped in was the bronchial tubes. The bronchial tubes leads down into the lungs. The third hell that I was entrapped within was the lungs. The fourth hell I became entrapped within was the alveoli on the bottom of the lungs, or around the lungs, around the bottom of the lungs. The fifth hell I became entrapped within, or the soul became entrapped within, was the capillaries. The sixth hell that I became entrapped within, or the soul became entrapped within, is the blood vessels. The seventh hell that I became entrapped within, or the soul became entrapped within, was the hemoglobin. This is where you get the word goblin. The goblins, demons, gargoyles in hell. Gargoyle just means gargle, which is nothing but the mouth again. It's the gargling to bring up air pressure bubbles to induce. That's also known as spirit. That's why we spoke different. So the hemoglobin is the seventh hell, or the seventh hell is the seventh goblin, the hemoglobin. The eighth hell that I became entrapped within this body, that the soul became entrapped within, is the red blood cell. The ninth hell that I became entrapped within is the pulmonary vein. The 10th hell that I became entrapped within is the left ventricle. The 11th hell that I became entrapped within inside of this organism is the left atrium of the heart. And the 12th hell that I became entrapped within, that the soul became entrapped within, is the heart, because it pumps the blood right back through the whole damn system. So I became entrapped all the way from the first breath down below the gastrointestinal tract, by going through the trachea, by going through the bronchial tubes, by getting trapped in the lungs, getting trapped in the alveoli, getting trapped in the capillaries, getting trapped in the blood vessel, getting trapped in the hemoglobin, getting trapped in the red blood cells, getting trapped in the pulmonary vein, getting trapped in the left ventricle, getting trapped in the left atrium, then getting trapped inside the heart to pump me right back out through this whole damn system. Now I'm stuck. Now I'm in hell. Now I'm trapped inside of this prisoner called Blue Amias. See? 12 hells that we all became entrapped in. That all started from one damn breath that this organism took, that organism took when it came out of that womb. out of that darkness. Okay. Also, too, when I'm talking about the blood cell, the word cell and hell are synonymous to each other. Just like the words hell and held. Hell is the word held, exactly, which is why you are being held down and bound by this body. You are in hell means that you are in held. Hell is down because you are being held down and bound by the anatomy of the physical body. Okay? And this is why we spoke of these things in mythology to different like figures and characters. We spoke of mythology, of most innate uh, sciences through mythology, characters, things of that nature. Um, what is known as mythology is nothing but explanations, describings, and descriptions of elemental energies and forces at play and in activity within the mind, spirit, and body, and the end results of these energetically and alchemical components in collision, exclusion, inclusion, and infusion with each other. It's a macrocosmic way of explaining microcosmic events within interfacings of chemicals and energies within the human body. You got books like this, African Myths and Legends, like a damn dictionary. This is a lot of myths from East Africa to West Africa, Southern, Northern. We were fixed on myths at one time in our times of antiquity, ancient times. We dealt on mythology. We were hard on mythology. And we were talking about nothing but energies and alchemical components that happen within the body, but we had to make it figures and characters because we were a human figure and character. So we said, okay, the only way this human and physical character can get the spiritual understandings if we have human and physical characters to give them this deeper understanding of their most innate self. Right? You also have elemental hells. So not just um, the nine circles of hell or the 12 hells, but you also have elemental hells. Um, the elemental hell, of course, is air, which is the breath. That was the elemental hell, one of the helling aspects. You have water, which is the blood flow. When Jesus turned water into wine or wine into water, all that. That's just the breath into the blood as a product of the breath being taken in, the blood moves. So you have elemental hells, the element air, water, air being the breath or the flow, water being the blood or fluidity. The the earth hell is the body or the physical body, and the fire hell is the temperature or the heat that the body produces. So it's in this exact order: air, water, earth, fire. These are the four elemental hells that you became entrapped with in that order: breath, blood, body, temperature, flow, fluidity, physical, heat, air, water, earth, fire. So we have many hells within many hells that we became entrapped with. Um, yeah. So, last point to touch upon here is, see if I can find this there. Um, yeah, you have just another way of looking at it. This is the last kind of part of it. You have the anatomy. I'm going through certain notes, but I have all these in like perfect order for the presentations. But I'm just freestyling at the moment on itself. Um, you have words, the intestines, the anatomy or the intestines of the body, in the large intestine and small intestine, in this section of the body where the hell body is at, where the hell is actually supposed to be at. Intestines, you have something called the duodenum, like I talked about before in What is a Diet? The video What is a Diet? I think What is a Diet was one before this one. The duodenum also is a Greek version. There's a Greek version of Satan called Demogorgon, or Demogorgon. And this is where you get the word duodenum. So once again, I'm relating certain characters or certain devils and evil, whatever you want to call it, monsters, demons, jinns, that all these things reside within the lower body. There is no devil, no demon, no gargoyle, no goblin, nothing out there. Everything is inside of this damn body. This is the hell. Okay? Duodenum is also the word Demogorgon, which is a Greek Satan in Greek mythology. His name is Demogorgon. Okay? You also have the anus. Anus is also the word Asmodeus or Asmodeus, which is a Hebraic devil. In Hebrew mythology, the devil, one of the devils or the devil characters are called Asmodeus. Asmodeus is the same, is connected to the word anus. See, so, and you also have, like bile, like feces that come out the anal canal and the rectum. Bile, B-I-L-E, is actually a Celtic version. In Celtic mythology, bile is known as hell. The hell place in Celtic mythology is called bile. This body produces bile, feces, shit. So bile, bilirubin, this is a direct connection. And it's not even a changing of the letters or the word or anything. The same way that bio is spelled in biology in the anatomy of the physical body, B-I-L-E, is the same way it's spelled in Celtic mythology, B-I-L-E. And in Celtic mythology, what they call hell is known as bile. That should be a dead giveaway. It's talking about nothing but the human body. Internalize, 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 internalize this gnosis that I am giving at this moment. Demons, devil, God, hell, angels, all this shit just means something inside of the body. You just have the 7 lords of hell. Now you have something called the 7 lords of hell. You have the 9 circles of hell. You have the 12 levels of hell, which is what I touched upon personally. You also have something, you can Google it, it's called the 7 lords of hell. The 7 lords. Lords just means lowered. So Lord means lowered. The lower body. The lower organs. The lower where the intestines at. With the bacteria and the gas and all of the stuff, it goes right here. Lord of hell is the lowered hole or the lowest hole or the hole that is the lowest component of the upper body or the lowest location. So the Lord of hell is the lowered hole or the hole which is the lowest in the physical body. The lords of hell. So I'm gonna leave everything else for PowerPoint presentations. If you're interested, get in touch with me. It will come at a price and a fee, but it goes a lot more deeper. As you can see, I have all of these pictures. I have all of these notes. I have a whole bunch of stuff. You can look at certain things too, but when they're talking about gods communing or conversing with each other, talking about the human body or energies communicating. You got the Hermetica, you have the Emerald Tablet. These are just pocket-sized books. I have the actual book, the regular-sized books. Initiation system. You're talking about the Hermat or the Herbak, Egyptian initiate. This is also very interesting. Check that out. It talks about the initiation of the mind and body of the person coming into the mystery system of ancient Kemet, which is what you know or antiquitous Kemet, which is what you know as ancient Egypt. And it's talking about nothing but energy forces, the anatomy, the mind, psychology, the biology, astrology, cosmology, and physiology of the human body. Internalize, 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 internalize this gnosis of today's video. Am I as I am. See you guys next time. And until then, I'll keep you in vision. 1, 0.